Hi, Comeback Champions. I am so glad to be here today. Congratulations on investing in yourself and your own transformation. You know, they say success is 80% showing up, and you have shown up today. So pat yourself on the back, say congratulations, and I'm excited for our time today. I'm Dallas Cohen, the Rebound Coach of thereboundcoach.com. And I'm extremely honored to be here. And I mean that two ways. Of course, I'm happy to be here in front of you, part of the Comeback Champion Summit. And I'm also happy to be here, as in alive. You see, in January of 2020, I learned that the man I'd been married to for 10 years at that point wanted me dead. Uh, he wanted me dead for so long by then that he and his most recent mistress had actually been planning my murder for several months by that time. Um, he left our home to go be with her, and they intended to enact their murder plot together against me. My world was completely shattered, as you might imagine. Of course, myself personally, as a woman, as a wife, as a woman of faith, as a mother, um, but all of that, and not to mention my life coaching business. I had built this platform as a professional relationship consultant for the past 5 years in the faith based space, nonetheless. So you can imagine that everything had just turned upside down for me. It was a very traumatic, dramatic time in my life, and in a series of events that were no other less than absolutely divine. Their plot was foiled. I had a choice to make at that time. I could allow all that had happened to define the identity that I had and shape my future, or I could step up, rise up, and do something great with my life. The days that the Creator has left for me and left for you are precious. I'll tell you, there's nothing like a murder plot or an attack on your life to help you realize how truly precious our days are and how we don't get them back. And the legacy we leave can happen at any moment. Um, I truly believe that they didn't succeed in killing me for a couple of reasons. Number one, I believe God Almighty is on the throne and did not ordain that. And number two, there's destiny in this time that you and I are sharing today. We would not, it had they been successful, we would not be sharing time today. There is a divine opportunity for you. I hope you're ready. Are you ready? I'm going to ask you to invest in yourself and be present. So don't play this in the background. I know we've gotten very used to listening to things in the background. I'm just going to ask you, we have a very short amount of time today. I'm going to ask you to go all in with me in this few minutes that we have. Okay? Give me your undivided attention. For the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to share insights to help you clearly see what's in your way and what's keeping you from the greatness that you know is on the inside of you. I'm going to give you a major key that you can use right now, today, to create radical results in every area of your life. Are you ready? Okay. I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper so you can take some notes. Go ahead. I'm waiting. All right. Now, the experts say that tomorrow, less than half of you will remember any more than 2 points that I'm going to make today. So, while I have 7 steps to get you from trauma to 10x, we're going to just give you 3. Okay? To give you the best chance possible of remembering these and putting them into action. All right? So they're very important, all right? So pay attention, take your notes. I hope you have a pen and paper by now. I gave you some time. Okay, let's go. Point number 1 to get you from trauma to 10x is clarity. Okay? Number 1, we all have to understand that Transformation doesn't come because we listen to good words. Transformation doesn't come because we really want it to. All right. And transformation doesn't come by just doing the next big thing. It's important to understand how trauma you don't even know about is tripping up your bottom line. Okay. We're like, what do you mean I don't know about it? Trust me. There's stuff under the surface that are that just have kind of become the chatter that's running in the background of our mind. It's become the framework in which we see the world, and we don't even understand how that's impacting our decisions. Our experiences, most of them when we're very young, okay, like under six, under two really, but under six, right? It shapes our beliefs and it holds our action capacity in shackles. Okay. We have, I operate in two spaces professionally, in the entrepreneurial space and the organization space. I help entrepreneurs and professional teams function well and strategize and implement their vision. And I also function as a professional relationship strategist. So, obviously, I help individuals get unstuck in the areas of relationship. And that includes relationship with themselves, with other people, romantic partners, etc. Okay, so love mentors shape your love story, and you go, what is that? So your love mentors are your parents first. They're your first mentors for everything, right? But then the friends you meet, your neighbors, the neighbor kids, maybe if you have a faith community, your school chums, right? They show and tell you who you are, what you're worth, how you relate to other people. They are what I call your love mentors, your parents first, really, your love mentors. And they shape your love story. And your love story is not just your experience with one individual, it's the experience that you repeat with all of the individuals in your life. Many times I work with women who look back on their love lives and say, you know what, I've had the same partner 7 or 8 different times. They had a different face, they had a different story, they may be a different age or came from a different town, but they were really all the same person. I've just repeated that love story over and over, over and over. It's the love story that they formed when they were young. Well, just like that, in the area of business or success or career, money mentors, okay? And in most cases, those are still your parents. Those are your main mentors when we're growing up, when we're forming our identity. They are the ones who show us the way, for better or for worse. Okay. So money mentors shape our money and success story. Their story becomes the story you tell yourself, we tell ourselves. Okay. Your paradigm is also it's all you know, right? So we grow up unsatisfied. For whatever reason, we're unsatisfied and we start reaching for outside things. Okay, if I only learn this new system, if I go to this new master class, if I listen to this new coach, read this new book, if I click this add to cart right here, this thing is going to fix my life. There's actually a show like that, like, Ayana Fix My Life. Like, she has like cosmic powers. Okay. So, we keep reaching for more knowledge. We keep reaching for, the next shiny object, business opportunity, whatever it is, thinking that that's going to make the difference. But really, the key here is preparing your own heart for the massive action that 10x takes. This talk is called achieving transformation from trauma to 10x. And you don't get to 10x by osmosis. It takes massive action. And there are real things that block your massive action from happening. And those things are not on the outside of you. I'm sorry to break that to you. They're internal. Internal here, and internal in your spirit. That's what I'm down here, where your spirit is, right? So, number 2, the first one is clarity. The second one is cycle breaking. So this is the key to finally stop playing small. right? So many of us get caught up in playing small. We're going to do it, but we're going to do it tiny, or we're going to sabotage, or we're not going to take the step we know it takes to win. We get into this cycle I call coping and crisis, where, and this happens in relationships, in business, in finance, in career, it happens in your faith walk, it happens everywhere. All right. So coping is like, we're celebrating that we didn't fight today. We're celebrating that I didn't break down today. I'm celebrating that I got up out of bed today, right? It's bare minimum functioning that we call coping, and we think coping is success because something terrible didn't happen. Um, that's what we call playing not to lose. And then you do that for a while, and then you fall into crisis. Crisis is we never address the problems, right? Whatever they were, we didn't address the problems. We didn't go back and fix it. We didn't go back and make anything right. So it's a ticking time bomb until those problems arise so great we're in crisis again. This is where health crises come from. We don't take care of our bodies. Well, I'm alive today. I can caffeinate today. I didn't have to sleep. I didn't have to work out. I could eat like crap today. I'm still alive. I eat like crap tomorrow. I'm still alive. Like we do that for years, and then crisis presents itself in a health challenge. So we can see that pretty clearly, but we in that example, but it's hard to see in romantic relationships, particularly marriages, things that last a long time, or long partnerships. We tend not to see it in families. We tend not to see it in careers and business situations. All right. Coping to crisis is something we run into all the time. And why is that? Because often, instead of playing to win, we play not to lose. We just want to make sure we don't fall into catastrophe. So we do the bare minimum so we don't fall into catastrophe, but we don't take the risk necessary to win. We know that where there's no risk, there's no reward. So many of us become risk adverse, or we say we're champions. We say we're gonna go do all of this, but really we're playing small so we don't lose. And the truth is, when you play big, you could lose. And you could lose big. The bigger you play, the bigger you could lose. That is the fact of the matter. But we have to decide one day that taking that risk of losing is worth more than staying in the bondage that we've been in. I had to make that decision about my marriage when I found out my husband was trying to kill me with this other woman. I had to decide, all right, do I want to stay in this functionality place that I have committed myself to, and I was so committed, y'all, that I had committed myself to, or was I going to say, you know what? I might lose real big here. My whole world could change. And it is changing, and it would change no matter what. But I was willing to say, you know what? The 10x, the transformation, the promise, the purpose, the dream, that is worth what I'm about to lose right here. Okay. And not just losing that the marriage per se, but losing the identity I had in that season. And it's an identity I formed when I was young, right? So you'll have to keep hanging out with me to get the rest of that story. All right, because I have a few minutes with you, and I want to get as many nuggets in your pocket as I possibly can. All right. So cycle breaking. The key to stop playing small: play to win. Get out of the comfort zone. Take the step you need to take that you know can get you what you're looking for. It's not a guarantee. There are no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees. We don't know. You might win. You might lose. You might lose big, but you might win. Take that step. All right. Step number 3, from trauma to 10x, is credo. All right. This is how you 10x in all areas. This is how it happens. All right. So I'm sure you've heard of Marie Kondo. She's an organizing person, and she tells you there's a rule. She has a modus operandi, right? She says, you hold something in your hand and you decide, does this pen spark joy, right? If it does, I'm going to keep it. If it doesn't, I'm going to throw it out, right? So she gives you one rule to live by, and that's an easy thing to remember and an easy thing to implement. So I'm going to give you a modus operandi. You ready? Ready? I'm excited. All right. And that is to choose life. Choose life. I learned from my own trauma. I could have chosen the death that he had planned for me, the physical death. Of course, I could have chosen that, but also the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, the death of trust, the death of hope, the death of a positive future. I could have decided to choose that, or I can choose life and that more abundantly. So I'm laying the gauntlet down for you. We can choose life in every single area. What does that look like? In the few minutes I have left. So that's choosing life in our food decisions. That is choosing life with our relationship decisions. That is choosing life in the business decisions we make, how much we're willing to go for versus not going for. In our money choices, what we're spending, how much debt we're accumulating, where does the money go? We can choose life in those areas as well. All right, so I've given you 3 points. I want to give you one more as a bonus. All right, you ready? Number 4, community. Community. Don't do this alone. No one is an island. No one succeeds alone. I'm sure you've heard that before. It's absolutely the truth. We get into this, crab in a barrel mentality. That's playing small, and that's trying to keep other people small so that we feel secure in our smallness. All right, we're going to give that up. We're choosing life today. We're going forward today. We're comeback champions today. All right, don't do this alone. One of my pivot partners, okay, when I made the shift from death to life, pretty much. When I made the shift from death to life, one of my close friends and pivot partners is Malikia Courtney, or she goes by Coach MK. All right. She's someone who has the audacity to love me right where I am and love me too much to leave me where I am. Okay. Those are powerful friends. You want to keep those people around you. Um, no one makes it to success by yourself. So you need a team to run with, people to encourage you, people to lift you up when things get hard. Not if, but when. Okay? When things get hard. So now look, I'm sure you've heard great information before. This summit is full of great information, powerful speakers, and things that just can move you into next, right? But you've heard great information before that's never moved you anywhere. It made no impact on your life. Why is that? I'll tell you why. It's because you don't learn from the mountaintop that somebody placed you on, right? You learn from your climb to the mountaintop. So we can treat today like, a feel good inspiration day, and you can take your notes and put it in a drawer somewhere and collect dust, right? Like all your other notes, where all the gold is in your journal that's collecting dust. Or we can walk together from this very place to your very own 10x mountaintop, building your muscles for sustained success in every area of your life. The question is, are you ready for that opportunity? If you want the rest of my points to get you from trauma to 10x, or the rest of my story, I'd love to continue our conversation. Here's where you can find me. You can find me on social media. Let's be friends. Facebook.com/redeeming the time. Facebook.com/redeeming the time. You can also find me in our private Facebook group called Team #Covenant Warriors. I have to tell you what that's about at another time. Also on Instagram at the Rebound Coach, and LinkedIn as well. If you go to my website on the swag bag page, you can get my free audio of a masterclass called How to Live Your Life Without Failure. You can find that at thereboundcoach.com/swagbag. That's thereboundcoach.com/swagbag. Okay? Thank you so very, 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 very much for your time. I am so excited to get to know you. I do want to hear your feedback. I'd love this to be a conversation. Please reach out to me, thereboundcoach.com, or at our our Facebook pages. I would just love to get to know you. Let me know what of these 4 points that you were going to take action on today. I'll see you there.